How's everybody doing? Let me know in comments and let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Good afternoon and happy Wednesday. Perfect. Awesome. Let me know what you guys are watching from so I can welcome you directly to. Where are you watching from and what are you drinking this afternoon? Awesome. Nice to have you, Marjorie from Philly, Eleanor, Brooklyn from New York. From Brooklyn, that's where I was born. Nice to have you on, Yasmin. Amanda from Potosi, Missouri. All right. Nice to have you on, Amanda. Aurora, California, Colorado. Christy, Dottie, nice to see you. Cleveland, Darlene. I always like to take a moment to say welcome for those that join me live and call you out by name. Greater Cleveland, Harriet, nice to have you on. Awesome. All right. So I just have to tell you a little bit of a story. So I am just now on live back on the internet. So I just don't remember what life was prior to the internet. Like our internet was down for 3 days. And I thought I was going to be beside myself. So I wasn't even sure we were going to be able to go live, but he came first thing this morning after I pleaded yesterday with them to get me back online. So I'm glad that I was able to make it. So, all right, somebody from out of the country, Cape Town, South Africa, Crystal, nice to have you on. Florida, Bernita, nice to see you. And so great. I'm glad that you guys could join me today. It's been sort of a miss this season in terms of our notifications. So I am glad for those that are actually joining us live. Glad to have you. All right. So listen, today, if your clients still are asking you, why should I pay you when I can book that online? You know, the real issue isn't around your pricing, it's around the experience that you create for your clients. And so what I want you to do is today is people don't book because of booking just for the sake of booking. They are doing this, they are booking with you because of the way that you make them feel. So if you don't make them feel a certain way, then they're going to start to treat you like a transaction. So what we want to do is we want to stop that. We want to make sure that you guys are designing experience and you really are setting yourselves up to be different than what they can do through Expedia.com or Booking.com and actually create an experience that is worth paying for so that you never hear, I found that online cheaper. All right, so before I get started, what I want to do is I want to ask you guys a question. So I've actually printed out my notes today instead of actually having them online. Because, I sort of like the feel of a paper in my hand so that I can refer to this. But have you guys ever had clients that say that they were super happy about your trips that you took them on? How many of you guys, so let me know in comments, how many of you guys have had clients that have said, oh my God, I am so excited about what you did for me? Yes, Amanda says yes. Anybody else? Anybody else have clients that say, yes, I've had, you've had happy clients. That's just right? And people who feel like that, they don't think about the price. They just think about how they're feeling. And I want you to also think about how did it make you feel when someone said you did an awesome job? How did it make you feel? Marjorie says, yes, I've had happy clients. All right. How did it make you feel when your client said, I had a great time? It made you feel amazing, right? You felt appreciated. You felt energized, right? I will tell you, when people put a comment or say that, they found success with something that I've done, they've gone on a trip that I planned, it makes me feel great. Just imagine how your clients feel, right? That they had an experience that was, even if there was problems, right? Because our job is not to ensure that 100% things go right. Our job is to do the very best that we can and troubleshoot when shit happens. That really is what our job is. So even if things don't go as planned, Your job is to protect. So when you get someone that says, oh my God, I had a great time, even if there was problems, they had a great time, it makes you feel good and it makes your client feel good. That's what they pay for. And that is what you do this for. But unfortunately, many of you all probably aren't pricing correctly. So you're not getting paid for the work that you do, and you're just throwing in all that stuff and you're not pricing accordingly. But what we want to do today is we want to talk, Amanda's is guilty. Someone said, Dottie says it makes you feel fulfilled, it makes you feel happy, right? It puts a smile on my face when I put a smile on other people's faces. When I do a bang up job, it makes me feel amazing, right? It makes me feel amazing. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that you've got an experience that does that on repeat without any problems, and that people, they recognize what you're doing. All right. So for those of you who are new, because some of these people, some of the names that I'm seeing here, they're new to me. My name is Sunday Gardner, and I am the founder of Online Travel Boss and also the Value Vault Method book. And I come to you guys every week helping you all recognize your bomb.com. And not only that, making sure that you launch and operate a successful and profitable travel business. So today, in order for you to be profitable, you've got to have one thing in place, and that is making sure that you are pricing accordingly, right? We're not trying to just make money on commissions. How many of you guys are not looking just to make money on commissions from suppliers? Because what I'll tell you is I think that the money from the suppliers should be considered icing on my cake, right? I should be making money from my services that I give, right? So I should get paid for my fit. If I'm doing custom, I should have pricing that ensures that I'm profitable, and it's your responsibility to do that. How many of you guys feel like that's what you want? Like you want a business that's profitable, that isn't only relying on commission from your suppliers? Right? Somebody raises their hand. Yes, that's me. All right. So part of that is ensuring that you have an experience that is truly the bomb.com. And if you already have happy clients, I am sure that you are doing that. But we're going to actually call out what creates an experience that is worthy of the price that you want to charge. And frankly, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any gentlemen on, but ladies, you all are responsible for the price. It's not your suppliers. It's not what the market is. You control the price that you charge for your trips. And I want you to take control of that today. All right, so let's get started. So welcome for those of you that are new, and for those of you that are normal regulars, welcome back. I'm glad to be here today. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to talk about a 3-part premium experience system, and it's going to include the following. So make sure you've got notes, you've got a piece of paper and a pen, and let's get started. The first part of the system is to make sure that you map your client journey. That journey includes 4 phases. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to do a quick assessment of the phases that are in your business and make sure that you have it. And I want you to put in comments if you feel like any of the phases that I talk about are currently that you're either skipping or you're giving the least amount of attention to. The first phase is pre-booking. This is the first impression that your new stranger has with you, or even your repeat clients have with you. This is around your consultations. This is around the proposals, the quotes that you give, your pre-booking stage. The second part of the journey is the planning. So this really deals with onboarding, preparation for going out of town. This is your itinerary delivery. This is how you protect the client before they go out of town. And then the third phase is all around travel. This is the support that you give, the touch points during travel. This is your real-time care. So this is when stuff goes bad and you are there to either provide them the guidance on who they need to contact when things are going bad during travel, or if you're making yourself available during travel. The fourth phase is post-travel. This is your follow-up phase. This is after they return home. This is the gratitude that you give to your clients for selecting you as their advisor. Rebooking setup. Let me just say that, rebooking setup, right? You should be rebooking your trips after someone. And this is also where you get testimonials, right? This is where you do follow-up and you get feedback, good or bad, from your client's experience. Let me know in comments which one of these phases are you all neglecting or you're not paying as much attention to. Now, I will find that most of you all, when I deal with travel advisors, most of you all love planning. Like the planning phase, you have it down like the cat's meow. Like it's not a problem with you all because this is your genius. This is your zone of genius. This is what you enjoy doing. I was talking with our students in client builder bootcamp last week, and we were talking about this whole experience and the whole booking process that people follow. And one of the things that we talked about is that we ignore the pre-booking process because it's not the sexiest part of the thing that we like to do, right? The whole process that we go to get somebody to the proposal, not the most exciting. After booking, not as exciting, right? The sales process, even before that, not exciting. But the planning and design, you guys love, right? Because it's the part of the brain that you guys love exercising. It's the creative juices in your business, right? And so when I was talking to my students last week, I was like, the thing that's not the sexiest is the pricing, right? Making sure that you've priced it and that you've done the work to make sure that you positioned yourself for profit. That's the logistical side, right? That's the stuff that's fun for me, right? So some of you all are saying all of yours needs work, post-travel, the survey process, post-travel, right? This is an often neglected because you're like, whoa, I've done the work, right? They're back in town, nobody's dead, right? Everybody had a good time. You forget all about that. But that's also where your money is as well, right? Because it's easy to get somebody to open up their purse again when they're happy, right? So this is where you should be hitting them up on their next trip. This is where you should have a process that's collecting referrals. This is also collecting testimonials because people are the happiest and are ready to give when they just come off the high of travel, right? So the post-travel is part of the phasing, absolutely. This is also how you reinforce your zone of genius again. All right, so the thing that most advisors that they give their all in and all of their energy in planning, that because that's what you guys love, right? So you don't really think about how easy it is to get to the planning stage, right? Or the pre-travel stage, right? We all know that we got to dot our I's, cross our T's, right? So we're sending out a bunch of emails and we're doing all that. So you're probably not thinking about the fun things that you can do and the experience things that you can do to help make the pre-travel experience great for your clients too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the moments of delight that you can create for your clients, and you probably already are creating for your clients, but we want to make sure that you are not just doing these as like aha surprises, that people understand that this is a part of your process and this is a part of the experience. This is a part of the standard, right? So it's good to surprise, but it's also good to make sure that people understand that this is what you do to make their journey better than what they would get if they did it themselves, or if they even go to another advisor who isn't doing all the great things that you're doing. All right. So the second part of the system is really around creating the perception of value that gets people elevated. So let's talk about what that looks like. So premium clients are not paying just for the booking. They're paying for how you are going to protect them, support them, make them feel, and delight them and surprise them. So of course we do want to give them a little bit of surprises and a little bit of tricks up our back, but we want to make sure that they understand that you are here to support and that you are here to give them that. And so here are the things that you need. Here's some examples of what that looks like. The first one is pre-trip countdown. So, I actually start our countdown about 30 days, particularly when I do group trips, about 30 days. Now we've got system automation that's doing countdowns like 90 days, 45 days, 30 days, 7 days, right? But I actually do the official countdown with my clients about 30 days before. If I'm doing a group trip, one of those things is we actually have a meeting 30 days before our group trip to get everybody introducing each other to themselves, to each other, me introducing myself if I've not met them. But that is really the opportunity for us to really start the countdown. The other thing that's a really good thing is destination playlist. Now I've got a client, she's into ocean, so she does a playlist of sound is what she gives to her clients, and I just think that's really great. So playlist, people people learn and experience things through all of their senses, and so sight, hearing, taste, all of that. So if you give them something that's audio, I think that's so great. Like I love music. I don't know how about you guys, but destination playlist or packing kits. Now, and I'm not talking about like the traditional pack list, right? You know, make sure you get your sunscreen and all that, right? If you specialize in a particular person, right, there is a unique packing list that you can give to the person. Also, the packing list for the destination, things that they need to have that they may not think about based on the destination. So that is a personalized packing list. I love that. Welcome notes or at check-in. So I just think that's so very personal. I remember one time, this was actually not a travel related story, but it was my assistant back in the day. So she had arranged my anniversary. She booked everything for, I guess it was travel. Before I was actually in the travel business, and she had arranged my anniversary. We did an anniversary celebration, and she had a note right there on the bed that just like said, you know, happy anniversary. I enjoy working for you. And it was just so really nice. And so I always remember how that made me feel when I walked in the room. And so doing that for your clients, those little touches, those are also part of the experience. Another one is a handwritten thank you cards. And so if you're like, well, my penmanship is not that great, there are actual services that you can have in your business that will write out hand thank you cards. That will actually, there's a service, and I'll have to get this for you guys. This one service, she does cards. It's so funny. I can hear our chickens. My husband must have let the chickens out. They're like right there in front of the window. I wonder if you guys can hear them. Anyway, this service, you hire the service and you upload your list, and she will send out pictures. She actually, I don't know that she stalks me, but every single time I put on a personal picture of like my grandbaby, you can't hear the chickens. That's so funny. Like they're literally right. They must be right by the window here. I love our chickens. So I have a chicken story. So really quick. So it's stormed. So part of the reason why our internet was out is because lightning must have hit the box or something on Sunday. And so we're out internet. So it's been storming, any of you all in Georgia. And so it's been storming like crazy every evening. And so like my husband had the chickens out, and they were out, and he fell asleep, and it stormed, cat and dog. And the chickens, they like came underneath the house and they hid. Like, it's like amazing. Chickens are amazing. Like, they've totally changed my life. I just had some eggs. They're amazing. So for those who don't have chickens, if you have the ability to get chickens, I absolutely endorse chickens. Anyway, the service, they actually write out the card. So all you have to do is give them your list. You tell them what your message is, and they do the writing for you. So you just do your list, and they will send out. They do birthday cards. They could do after travel. They do. So anyway, the thing, I'm sort of a little scattered today. So the thing that she does is like, I'll post a picture of my grandbaby, and she'll send the card she'll send me a card in the mail with a picture of the baby, and she'll have like a note in there, and like, I heard that this was one of your favorite pictures. Like, it warms my heart. I frame every one of the pictures that she does. But this service, so you don't even need to do it yourself. You literally, and it's not that expensive to do. Handwriting stuff, if you don't want to write it out yourself, actually buying a service to do it for your business, that exists. So those are just a few examples of how you can make things special for your clients. And so what I want you to do now is I want you to just brainstorm, what is one small thing that you do already or that you don't do that you could start doing in any one of the phases that we talked about. So pre-booking, during travel, post-booking, or during the planning phases. What are one thing that you could do? I send out Christmas cards. So Amanda, that is a great thing that you can do as an ongoing thing, right? So as an ongoing marketing touch point, but I'm talking about the client journey specifically during the travel. Somebody says, I want to go out of town. They say yes, and they are either during any part of that until they get back. What is the one thing that you can do to make the client experience better for your clients? So Christmas cards are great, but that's really a marketing activity. That's an ongoing communication activity. I'm talking about the actual journey relative to the travel journey that your clients have with you. All right. So I want you to think about, what can you do before they can depart, right? What can you do when they get back? What can you do that will make them feel valued and seen by you? And I want you to type that in the comments. I give out swag bags related to their destination. That is a great thing. And I know a lot of advisors give out swag bags. And so I am not going to be raining on your parade, but what I want you to do is I want you to think about what is included in the swag bag that is unique to your type of client or unique to the destination, right? And so don't get me wrong, I think luggage tags are great. I think that they are amazing, but is that really what your client needs, right? I want you to think about, what is something special? I'm not talking about expensive, but something that would be special that would make them feel seen and valued as your client. All right, so this is the part of the experience that we want to do. All right. I always leave welcome notes in the room. I love that. Or a note acknowledging the special occasion. I love that. Reusable cups related. Somebody says I use reusable cups related to whatever it is that the client favors. I love that. Travel gifts prior to travel, typical, nothing specific. Got to get better. Dottie, absolutely. You've got this, Dottie, you've got the multi-generational. So there's a lot of different opportunities there. With my group, I do a meet and greet, play, get to know each other, games, and give gifts. All right, so these are all great, and these are all part of the experience. And what I want you to realize, these are the things that make you rememberable. All right, part 3 of the system is all about systematizing and automate. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about scalable. If you were to get 10 of these types of clients, could you scale it? Right? And scale just means, could you grow it? Could you be able to handle the volume of double what you have right now, triple what you have right now? If not, this is where you want to systematize it. If you were to get 10, 15 new travel requests, could you handle it with the system break? If you were to get 3, 5, 6 new group trip bookings right now, would it break? Would you be able to still do the things that we just talked about without killing yourself, right? Or the system breaking, or things falling through the cracks? This is what we want to avoid. So here's what you need to include in that. What I want you to do is, you need to stop if you are one of those that's like, I need to customize everything because I need it to be one of the kind. You cannot handle growth. What happens is things fall apart when you break. So let's say, for example, my internet was down for 3 days. If I had clients clients traveling, what would happen? Right? Would things break because you don't have it automated? I'm going to tell you, if I had traveled during this 3 days, everything goes out. I do not have to babysit anything once somebody comes in the system. I get a new client, they do a travel request. I don't have to ask them to book I don't have to remind them to book their discovery call. All of that happens on autoplay, right? This is what we want to do is, I'd lose track or forget something, setting up a pre-call departure, that, right? So just the fact of, we got things going on, right? Many of you guys probably have full-time jobs, right? How many of you guys do have full-time jobs? You have kids, it's summertime, you're traveling yourself, you've got things that are going on. You're working on marketing, you're working on new launches, you're working on new designs, new whatever, right? And so we don't want the experience to stop because you've got other things that are going on, or the internet goes down, right? So, so life is always happening, right? So I totally get that, Amanda. So here are some of the things that you can do. Your premium experience needs to include the following. You need to have a documented journey map. That means from the time somebody says, I want to go out of town, until they come back in town, what does that look like in your business? What are all of the steps that need to happen in your business consistently? And I'm not talking about on the fly, right? I'm even talking about ordering gifts, right? What are the, granted, you may have some gifts that are personalized, but frankly, you could even standardize that. I just told you could standardize the thank you notes, right? You don't have to sit down and remember, I've got 15 people coming in from out of town, I've got to do the thank you notes. If you are doing group trips, this should be something that is on autopilot for you. So this is one of the things. So making sure that you document what the journey is. Another thing is making sure that you have a template library. You should not be starting from scratch on every email. all of your gift ideas, right? You should have a template and a go-to. You should have a vendor for which you go to your gifts all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that the gift giving is part of the creative juices that you guys love, but pick a couple of vendors and stick with it and order them on a regular. That is what you want to do. You should already have like your colors, your logo should already be uploaded in the system. It should be easy. A CRM system. Anyone who doesn't know what a CRM system, it stands for a client relationship management system. This is a automation platform that triggers the magic. And that literally is, I'm talking about from the time they say, I want, literally, one of the things that our system does is if we could do a keyword on any of our social media platforms and create an automation response to it. So if somebody says book on a message on my Facebook page, literally an entire automation could happen behind that, which would be nice to, we're so glad that you're interested in booking with us. Why don't you fill out a travel request, right? All of that can be automated. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are sleeping on AI. Are you sleeping on AI bots? You're scared of it. You think it's not all that it is. It really is. So that kind of automation can be done through AI. Literally, we can have AI respond to a message, and literally, we can actually have AI answer our phone calls now, and take our requests for us by just a little bit of code. So what I want to tell you is, these are not excuses. You having a full-time, you literally can continue to have your full-time job as you grow your travel empire and still not miss a beat. There shouldn't be any missing of the beats going on in this day and age, not with the types of systems and automation and AI that exist. And we're not talking about millions of dollars, right? Because I remember when, totally going to date myself, I'm 52, right? But I remember when the big screen television came out, and I was so excited because I love movies. Like, I am a movie aficionado. Like, I love movies. My kids hate to watch movies because I've probably watched it already. And so I remember back in early 2000, then the big screen came out. Like, I had a floor model. It was like $2,000 to get this thing. I had to save up for it. And, and I was like, I can't spend the money. And I remember I got my Sears card, and I got that big giant, it was like a 37-inch or 42-inch television. Right now we've got I don't know, what do they got, 1-million-inch televisions now? And AI is not that expensive. $2,000, literally, if you spend $2,000 on technology right now, you literally probably have an iRobot sitting there actually doing your virtual assistant. AI is so not expensive. Like creating a chat bot that actually responds to a message, that technology is so cheap and so available. All you need to do is use it, right? It literally is. So somebody says, I love my ChatGPT. Literally, I've been 3 days without chatting with ChatGPT, and I actually had to clean my house and cook. I actually would love to have an iRobot, but anyway, so you want to make sure that you have a CRM system that does the magic for you. So making sure that your email automation, your text messages, your reminders, all of that, your calendar reminders, all of the things that are things that you hate to do. I hate all of that, right? Even the Christmas cards, we literally do all of our holiday email marketing in one sitting. We sit down in October and we set up all of our social media posts for every holiday that goes out. Every email, all of that gets done in one sitting. I don't ever think about Christmas, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, all of the holidays that you need to acknowledge as a business owner, as a human being. I don't ever think about it because I set up the automation one time. We go through the holiday schedule every year, and I'm like, I want to celebrate this. There's some new celebration I want to do. And we do all of the social media, all of the emails that go out for our clients, and that is it. And so that is what that is what we do. So there's really no reason for you to be thinking about all of that. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to think about, do you have any part of your system right now where that your client automation, that your client interaction or engagement or experience is automated? Any part of your system that is. As you guys are thinking about it, I'm going to tell you what we do, what I also teach to our advisors. So first phase is pre-booking. So our pre-booking, from the time somebody says, I want to go to fill in the blank destination, we automate that whole process. So from the time we say, okay, go fill out our travel request, it automates so from that point, when somebody submits this request, they get a booking calendar, they book an appointment from the booking calendar, they get into a reminder that reminds them. If they don't book a calendar, a reminder sends them out, text message sends them out, right? All of that. Once we say yes, they say yes, they want us to do the design fee, we automate the invoice. If they don't pay the invoice, we send automations there. That entire journey is automated inside a Travel Pro Suite. Now, somebody says yes to the dress, they say yes to the trip. From the time that they say yes to the time that we confirm them, we automate all of the making sure that the passport information, the welcome kit goes out. We make sure that if they are booking their own flights, that we ask for their flight information. We send out the 7-day reminder. We send out the day before, the day of, the survey. All of that automation is there. So we automate the pre-booking, the booking, and then even when they come back. All of that is automated. There is no reason in 2025 and beyond, should you not have email and SMS automated in your business. So many of you guys are saying not yet. What I would invite you to do today, so here is the challenge for you today, is if you don't have your process documented, you don't have the journey documented, I don't want you to think about people saying no to your price. I want you to start there. I want you to identify what is it that makes you amazing at creating the experiences for your clients that you do. What is it that you do? If you don't have it documented, it being in your head doesn't count, right? Because your head fails you. It does. And the older you get, the more it fails you. And so you want to make sure that you've got it documented, because if you are to the point where you're like, man, I wish I had a VA. And I always think of a VA, right? Virtual assistant or an assistant to help me do the amazing stuff that you do. When you don't have it documented, then you're asking somebody to be inside of your head. If you want to make sure things are repeatable without you having to remember, having it documented is where you start. So that's my challenge for those who don't have it documented. For those that know the system, they have it documented. My challenge to you is, what can you do in every one of those phases to ensure that the experience is unique? Right? Unique, not only to the destination. I want you to think about who it is that you service, your client, right? You're just not a specialty in a destination. You're a specialty in a person, in a type of person. And what we want to do is create an experience that's built around your people, because that is what they pay for. That is what they pay premium dollars for. So what I'd like to do is invite you all, for those of you all who may be struggling with experience pricing, we actually have a masterclass that's happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it is called the Premium Experience. What is it called? It's Premium Pricing Playbook, and it's all about where I'm going to take an average trip. I think I'm actually using a cultural holiday trip, and I'm going to show you how to make it premium. So if you struggle with creating experiences that are premium, tomorrow's masterclass is going to be the one class that you are not going to miss. It does cost $100. So if you'd like to register, all you need to do is go to onlinetravelboss.com/premium pricing playbook and register. It is live. So if you would like to get the replay, you register for it, and I'll be sending out the live if for some reason you cannot do it. But for those who have watched me do a live training, this is a great opportunity. If you've got a trip that you're working on and you're figuring out, how do I make this better than what Expedia.com's? How do I create a signature experience that is worth $2,000 more than what somebody can find on Expedia.com? You're going to want to join me tomorrow, and we're going to also talk about how you create those signature extras inside of your packages and price them at a premium dollar. Listen, I'm going to open it up for questions. If you guys have any questions live, you can take yourself off mute, ask away. I'm going to see if I missed any questions. If not, then I will catch you guys next week. Christy asked, what CRM do you use or recommend? And so I created a CRM called Travel Pro Suite. It's built on a system called Go High Level. So if any of you out there are familiar with Go High Level, Travel Pro Suite is built on that. So it's really, what I did is I built the automations, the workflow, the surveys, the forms, the pipeline, everything that you can think about that's for travelers, for the travel industry. We built it on top of that platform. The great thing, let me type that out for you all right now. It's, let's see if I can get there. It's HTTPS. So for those who are watching me live, I'm going to give you the training link. For those who are watching it, well, for those who are watching on YouTube, I will include the link in this. We'll include it in the video. So it is onlinetravelboss.com premium pricing playbook. And so Travel Pro Suite is what we use, Angela. Not Angela, I'm sorry, Christy. It does all the automation. And the reason why we love it on GHL is because GHL spends all of their technology on AI automations forms. So we didn't have to build that from scratch. But what I did do is we created the workflows for travel advisors. So we are one of very few people built on GHL that specialize in the travel industry. So if you are looking for a CRM, reach out to me and we can talk about how we can make that happen for you. All right, any other questions you guys have? Anybody else want to come off mute or ask a question before I go? I'm just gonna give it, there's a bit of a delay. No, if not, no. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Ladies, it was great having you on live. I will see you same bat channel next week. And for those that joined us inside of the masterclass, I will see you next week. What are some touches you do for pre-booking? So pre-booking, one of the things that we do, so we don't do any special touches for pre-booking, but we do have a process for pre-booking. So one of the things that I mentioned, Amanda, for the pre-booking phase is for our, so I want to sort of divide this into two. So if you're doing fits, we have a pre-booking process for fits. So for custom travel, if we're doing group travel, our pre-booking is different. So we do sales and marketing for group travel. For our fits, our pre-booking process is what I described. So we require a survey. We then do a discovery call for all of our custom fits, and then we collect our design fee. And then from our design fee, we do planning and design, and then we do a walkthrough of the proposal, and then we are looking for them to say yes to the travel. Can you explain the all-around travel? I'm not really sure, Yasmin, what that means. If you want to come off mute and explain what you mean by that.
So you said that there were premium experiences, map the client's journey. You went through 4 phases. I can't remember what the 3rd phase was.
Oh, the 3rd phase is travel. So the phases are pre-booking, planning, travel, and post-travel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you came off mute. I did not get that from your message that you typed. So anybody else have any questions? No? All right. Well, I will see you guys in tomorrow's masterclass. You guys have a great evening. Bye.